The rotation for Greatsword Shield STM Chronomancer can be split up into 3 sections: Continuum Split or Opener, Greatsword, and Shield. The Greatsword and Shield sections together create our loop for when we don't have access to Continuum Split. We begin with our Continuum Split or Opener section by using Echo of Memory as we run in towards the boss. We then use Time Warp and Illusionary Leap before weapon swapping. We Mirror Blade for a third clone, followed by Phantasmal Berserker as we enter Continuum Split. Once in Continuum Split, we use Disenchanter, Signet of the Ether, Phantasmal Berserker, Disenchanter, Well of Calamity, Mind Stab, and Mirror Blade. We want to be using F1 and F2 shatters with 3 clones when inside Continuum Split. When Continuum Split ends, we use Phantasmal Berserker, Disenchanter, Well of Calamity, Signet of the Ether, Phantasmal Berserker, Mind Stab, and Mirror Blade before weapon swapping, making sure to use our F1 shatter when we have 3 clones. We now move on to our shield section. As soon as we swap to shield, we want to use Blurred Frenzy, Tides of Time, and Disenchanter. If we have access to clones at this point, we can use our F2 Shatter for extra quickness. We then use Illusionary Leap and Auto Attack until Blurred Frenzy is off cooldown. After a second Blurred Frenzy, we can weapon swap and move on to the Greatsword section. Once on Greatsword, we use Phantasmal Berserker, Mirror Blade, and Mind Stab. Well of Calamity can also be used whenever it is off cooldown during times where we are just auto-attacking. We shatter with F1 and use Mirror Blade, Disenchanter, and Mind Stab. Preceded by Phantasmal Berserker, Mirror Blade, Signet of Ether, and a final Phantasmal Berserker. We then quickly swap back to shield and repeat our shield section. We repeat our shield and Greatsword loop 2 more times before being able to enter Continuum Split again. The next Continuum Split will only have 2 clones depending on how on top you are with your shatters. This just means you may not be able to fit in your final Mirror Blade and Mind Stab in the Continuum Split section. Once we're finished with Continuum Split, we continue with our shield and sword section loop again. See if you can follow along. The most optimal gear setup for this build by TipCat has no boon duration at all. However, to be on the safe side, I prefer to play it with 10% boon duration as quickness can be quite tight in some areas. If struggling to maintain quickness, you can add more boon duration with soul pastries, though this will cause more of a DPS loss. If you wish to use focus instead of a shield for those useful focus pulls, you will need at least 22% boon duration. The rotation stays the same, simply using Phantasmal Warden instead of Times of Time. Again, if you find yourself struggling to upkeep quickness, you can add more boon duration. Stable quickness uptime on your group is much more important than your personal DPS as a quickness provider. Chronomancer may not have as high DPS as other quickness builds, However, it brings extremely strong utility through focus pulls, CC, reflects and portals. If you wish to bring alternative utility skills, swap out Mantra of Pain first, as it is the least important. Additional information can be found on the Snowcrow's website or beneath TipCat's benchmark video for this build. Links will be provided in the description.